Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. I am going, like I told you, I have a popcorn recipe and they want a dried cheddar cheese, but it has disodium phosphorus, which would give you, if you have kidney problems, it's going to aggravate it. If you have a heart problem, it's really going to, between those two. So it's in a lot of processed foods or meals that you buy instantly. Now, I bought some cheddar cheese. Now, I want to read what's in it so you understand what I'm doing. It has cultured pasteurized milk, salt, enzymes, okay? And it has a vegetable coloring, which I'm not upset with. And those are natural. I know cheeses are made with enzymes, salt, and milk. According to the temperature, it's the enzymes you put in and all. Now, I've got this much cheddar cheese left of this. Now, I'm going to dehydrate it at 180 degrees until it's dry and see if I can make my own powdered cheddar cheese so we can have this popcorn herb mixture so we don't sit there and end up with chemicals that cause kidneys. If you have a slight kidney problem, it's going to make it worse. If you have a heart problem, it's worse. And we're trying to get away from the preservatives, at least in my page, on my channel. I shouldn't say page, on my channel, that's what I'm striving for all the time. And I assume if you're watching, you also want to hold on to your health as long as you can. So I got out my trays, and I've got 3 of them covered like this. And I'm going to use this grater better than the other one because it gives thinner slices. And that's what I want. So I'm going to have to cut a chunk of this cheese. You can see it's a big piece. It's going to be hard to handle like this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut it down so I can hold it better. And if this works, I will definitely give you that recipe. Because I just don't want to give you something that's going to make you sick. I have to read everything before I do. And there's some recipes I can never make because they put these instant things in them. When I read what's in them, I get upset because I don't want to expose you to them. But if you choose to do it, that's your choice. All right, because I have a dehydrator, I can do it. If you have an oven and it goes to 180, you can do it in the oven until they're dry. Just leave the oven at 180 and just wait till they're dry. I'm just using a dehydrator because I've got a beef roast that I'm going to be making this morning, and I can't because I'm going to have my oven busy, so I'm going to be moving to my dehydrator. I hope it works in the dehydrator. We're going to find out, but they do recommend using the oven. And they say do thin, don't pack it heavy. So we'll do what we can. It might take me a couple of days to do this, heaven knows. Oh, hold on a minute. Tired of getting water on my hands. Well, break your nails, Sandra. You're very good at it. So I'll show you what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I don't know how long it'll take for this to go, but they just said until it's dry, thoroughly dry. So I see a dehydrator is just as good as anything else. They said don't make it a thick layer, so I'm not. That's one. If this works, this will be great because we can actually, do other things. Because like I said, I have a lot of different recipes. See, a dehydrator works the same way as an oven. It's going to dry it out. So I figured I should be able to do it this way. If it doesn't work, well, then I'll go to the oven and we'll see. But they recommend an oven first before they do this. It's only that I'm going to be busy, so I'm not going to be able to. Oh, I really hope this works. And this is going to be more than one video because I'm going to dry it out and then we're going to have to blend it up. So be aware, there'll be a part 2 in this. And if it works, guess what? We're going to do it. We're going to make the seasoning for the popcorn. That's why I have my fingers crossed on this one. Now I have parchment paper. I might have to get it out so I can do more shelves because I only have 3 of these. I want to make sure that it dehydrates. That's why I don't want to pack it too heavy. Well, I don't know if parchment paper is going to work because it rolls up into such a tight little piece. Let me get my things out and see how big they are. Then I have to cut it. Or if I can fold it. Well, that's really nifty. It just about fits, except right here. Normally I would use my knife and just slide it, but it dulls your knife up. Use iron wax paper to get it to lay down. I bet you that would surprise you. Yeah, we use the dry oven, don't use a high heat. And that's how we used to get the curls out. Oh yeah, we were ingenious at things we had to do. We didn't have the convenience of it just being there for us. We had to sit there and learn to make things work for us. If you put curls so I can cut you on paper. If I had my ironing board up, I'd take it to the iron and I would press this out. But my iron, I don't want to go through all that stages of doing that. Okay. Come on, I almost have you completely laid down. We used to have to iron our patterns too before we pinned them because they were folded. You just use them, don't use steam, it would be our dry iron, which we would use for starch, which I know a lot of you don't do anymore, but we used to have to starch all our clothes. And so we used a dry iron for the starch and a steam iron for the regular clothes. I even learned how to make my own starch to do the shirts and pillowcases and hankies and things like that. Now my older brother loved to have his blue jeans starched. Mom said, I'll starch them, but you're ironing them. And I remember when I was done ironing, I had to let them dry a bit because I couldn't get all the moisture off of them. So after you did that, I see I'm going to continue doing this. We did things like that. But you can't starch polyester. You can't starch elastic. Everything's made with elastic. I hate it. I'd rather wear cotton. You can breathe in your clothes easier than everything else. I wanted to wear plastic because we were bag on. And I'm discouraged from sewing for that one reason. And I love to sew, but all the material I find has got plastic this, elastane this. It's plastic and elastic, and you can't starch the clothes. They don't last as long. I mean, I keep blue jeans that have elastane, even if it's 1%. After 4 or 5 years, if you wear them a lot, they're gone. But if you have 100% 3 3/4 denim, 10 years later, you still have the blue jeans, unless you outgrow them. So I'm not happy with the clothing of today. And everything is so bloody skin tight, you can see everything. There's no imagination in anything. Everybody looks horrible. But if I ever find a place that sells 100% cotton and natural fibers without elastic in it, or polyester, I'll be happy. I'll buy from them and I'll sell them. A lot of people don't care. I do. But they say, I get tired of ironing. I don't mind ironing, even on a hot day. The clothes look so good afterwards, you can't complain. When we went to school, there wasn't air conditioning. We walked everywhere. I'm actually getting the paper to lay flat. I'm going opposite the curl and hoping that this will help lay it a little easier. And you're probably saying I'm using a lot of cheddar cheese to try this experiment, because if it works, I have it. If it doesn't, it's all right. I'm the one experimenting. If it works, I tell you it's going to work. And then that way you don't have to waste. Can I afford to waste? No. But sometimes in cooking I have learned, no matter how poor you are, Sometimes you got to take that chance to do something to see if it works. If you can do something better for your family. So that's how I look at it. Because they want a half a cup of powdered cheese, and I think that's too much to that in it. And I just found out a book I want to get for making my own luncheon meats. If I can make the turkey, and I can make Spam, and I can make chicken, and what else? Spam, and roast beef. You know, you do a roast beef, the breast of a turkey, and then you sit there and do the chicken. If I could do that, I could probably make a liverwurst then. Then all what I would have to do is buy the cheese. I haven't really made cheese. The only cheeses I make are ricotta, cottage cheese, and farmer's cheese. But farmer's cheese I like to play with because I like to put things in it, give it a different flavor so it's not flat, and it's very interesting. This is the last tray as I entertain you. Okay, let's get another one. You should have told me to do that earlier. It wouldn't have been so hard. You are so quiet. Is that because you just got up? Have you had your coffee yet? I haven't. I had a glass of water, and that is what I had this morning so far. But I don't mind. So as I told you, please remember this is going to be a two-part. You still don't want to lay down. Still trying to get it to lay down a little better. Isn't that nifty how that works? See, the other grater would have them thicker, but I wanted them a thin one. They said to do it thin, make sure that they're thin. I said this is the only way I'm going to be able to do this. All right, I am now going to go put it on at 180. Mine doesn't go as high as 180. It's a little below it, so I'm going to have it at a longer time to see how it works. But if you have an oven, turn it to 180 and do the same thing I did. Just don't make it thick. Leave it in the oven until it's thoroughly dry. Mine's going to take, what did I throw this? No, don't throw that out, Sandra. You need this. Oh, I tell you, sometimes I lose it. I'll see you then. All right, so take care. We'll wait for part 2, and fingers crossed we'll be able to make that popcorn thing if we can dehydrate this cheese and get it to work right. Make sure the cheese that you use does not have any preservatives in it, so you protect your health and your loved ones. Bye-bye.